It says that we're putting 10% down and we're going FHA. Just wanted to confirm that because I thought we talked 3.5%. And so she did. And the guy said, don't worry about it. We can change it. We'll go 3.5% down FHA. So then I said, if he says that, which I thought he would, just say, hey, I just want to make sure you check to make sure that was FHA approved. 2 days. So that was, she contacted me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
The complex was FHA approved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not.
Right.
I already knew.
Oh.
I pulled the address. I'm like, I told her.
No way. Yeah.
No way. So he sent her over numbers on Thursday and said, hey, we're still waiting. So they're pushing her to put her deposit. Anyhow, those are like sometimes the hard deals that we walk into. But you said, have I had a hard deal? We always get it. We always walk into hard deals.
Well, because I think you're the, I don't know. I refer deals to you too whenever I'm like, people come to me and I don't have the option of referring them.
Yeah.
But then they wind up like, okay, I have the confidence in another lender. And then they wind up putting me in a position because I have to come and make offers with that letter from their lender and the confidence that they've done the due diligence, because that's a different job than mine, right? So then I have to walk in and then I put my reputation on the line because I've worked hard to develop a good reputation with agents in the area, right? So they know you and you have accountability. Now, if you put yourself in that spot and then they all of a sudden either ghost you, I've had people ghost me like, oh my God, like, and I've had transactions where it's like one guy's selling a house to buy a house and then the other guy's moving to Florida to buy a house, right? So you got like big daisy chain going, and the guy that's buying this house, it just, the lender goes like ghosts, won't answer, won't do anything. But the reason I'm saying that is like, then I got to go to Steve and be like, Steve, bail me out. So I imagine that happens to you a lot.
Yeah, and we just another one we just did is very similar situation. It was on a non-warrantable. The lender was from the Valley, didn't understand that it was a non-warrantable. Had the guy running.
And non-warrantable means
the condo complex was underinsured. The master policy.
So you can't lend in it.
So you can't do traditional financing.
Okay.
So we are probably one of, if not the only one that will lend on these with decent rates. Like, so what I ended up getting this guy. So when I get the deal from the guy, they're in a 14-day escrow, and we're already 4 days in, and then we have a difficult buyer. So my situation gets pressured on is because the listing agent has an expectation, knows the buying agent, so that was the relationship that got the deal accepted, and then you have a buyer that still doesn't understand, and I think that's sometimes where agent and lender have to work together. So the story's the same, right?
Yeah.
And that's sometimes what becomes difficult and I say this, if they don't do their homework on the property that they're putting an offer in. Like, if you're going into another area that you're not super familiar, you better check the following. Like, if I were to say what's the hardest thing with when you work with a buyer in a different area is if they buy a condo. Because there's a lot of research you have to do in that condo to make sure that the condo is accepted, approved, like you don't have any issues. It's not a co-op. It's not a non-warrantable. Is the insurance right? And a lot of times we can't get that information. Unless you get a full HOA. Right?
You get all the documents from the HOA
and that's sometimes what could take some time. And what used to happen is we could do what is called a HOA waiver. Like if you put down a certain amount and you have a really strong buyer, you could just get a waiver. But a lot of these places now are so, like, they're so red flag that even with the main investors, you can't even finance with them. Like they're tagged. It's called red tagged.
So then, like, now